Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the month of July 2022. We're going to jump right in here, Libra, and we are going to see what is going on for you. You have this To Be Fair card, which is your card. It's basically the Justice card, kind of, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but that definitely puts you in a position of power and strength for the month, which is nice. It's interesting because I'm at the end of the readings, kind of, and a lot of people have had cards like this. Elephant Spirit says, learn from the past. And a lot of people have been getting stuff about the past, which is pretty interesting, even though, we're past the retrograde now, Libra. We do have a retrograde heavy year. So in general, I consider any year, which is basically every other year, Mars goes retrograde. So pretty much every other year, we have a retrograde heavy year. And so that could be why a lot of this stuff is coming up. But you start off with this To Be Fair card. Again, this is like your card. I feel that you are creating more balance in your life, though. I feel this is more talking about you. I don't really feel it's talking about, kind of external things. So I feel like you're creating more balance in your life, more predictability as well. I do feel like maybe you're hoping for some balance in a situation. And we'll just actually jump right down here and I'll show you. You have the Page of Cups, the Moon, the Five of Pentacles, but you have this. You have the Eight of Swords, the Three of Swords. You have the Hierophant over here with the Ten of Wands. It's kind of weird how it's like set up like the top half of the reading, if that makes sense, is, I wouldn't say it's challenging, but I feel like it's referring to a situation that you are thinking about or that you have been thinking about for some time. Could be a relationship, business, well, anything. I would say that really it relates to a dream with the Page of Cups, but I would say that you're dealing with something where you have a certain set of ideas of like how it was going to work out in your life. With the Page of Cups, he has this fish in that cup there. That fish is his imagination. It could be something that doesn't exist. It could be his imagination. And so I feel for a lot of you, again, what this card in your reading is talking about is something where, and we all have these things, right? Like when we're little, we think maybe our love life is going to go a certain way, or we think a business is going to go a certain way. I kind of see this as whatever that is for you. I feel like you had certain expectations of how something was going to go, but I feel that it was a little bit more confusing with the Moon card. It's kind of weird. I just get confusion on the Moon card. Sometimes it's like, again, I think we can sometimes set out expectations of how something is going to work out and it doesn't. And then we're like, wait a minute, this was supposed to go this way and it didn't. And I feel more discombobulated with this Five of Pentacles for you, Libra. Not so much like confused, but just more confused in the sense that like things didn't go how you expect them to go in a situation in your recent past or in the past. And again, I feel like there were these moments, maybe if it was a relationship, for example, where you said, okay, I'm going to, this is how it's going to go, but it just didn't go that way. Same thing in business or career or work. It's like I feel like you had certain maybe ideas of how things were going to go or how you were going to progress, and things just didn't kind of go in that direction in the past. This is your past position, this first row, so I feel you're kind of moving past this energy a little bit. You have the Five of Pentacles. Everybody has the Five of Pentacles right now. I keep telling people, obviously we're in very uncertain times about finances. As I always say, again, I was on a podcast a while ago. I said Neptune and Pisces, we have until 2025. Neptune and Pisces is deception, but it rules anything that flows. We call it currency for a reason because it flows. So I keep telling people, it's like with Neptune and Pisces, there could be like a lot of unpredictability in the world as far as currency is concerned, that is money, but it could also be things that I think people need to realize. It's like we trade time for money as well. So it's like our time is a form of currency, right? And what I would say here is that I would just make sure you're valuing yourself in anywhere there is an exchange of energy and anything that could be considered currency, like your time, money literally, but it could also be maybe there are other things that are valuable to you. We have Uranus and Taurus, all about our values, right? It is no surprise to me that this is happening right now. I've been talking about this for like 3 years because of Uranus and Taurus, Neptune and Pisces. It's like, anything we value, including money, there could be some moments where we feel a lack or we feel like we don't have it. As I've said to many other people, I feel like there are a lot of opportunities right now financially. if you know what to pay attention to. But again, I think that it's not like, people keep asking me, should I be like saving money or prepping or doing all these things? I'm like, I don't think we have to go crazy. I think that the energy is more about your demanding your values, right? Like what you value. That's what the universe is trying to get us to do. You have this elephant spirit says, learn from the past. Obviously, I would learn from the past, right? It's like I said, I feel like there are a lot of opportunities right now in every single recession that there's ever been in history. There have been a lot of opportunities to also be successful. But also, I feel like this is talking about your past, because it looks to me at the end here that there's a new situation coming in for you. But I feel like there's much more value in this situation. So if you're attracting love, for example, I feel like there's much more, love in the situation, much more value, much more things that you do value. Like sometimes I think we make sacrifices. We want to get into a relationship, but maybe we get with a person who doesn't want children and we do. Or we get with a person who doesn't value family and we do. But we say, they'll come around or something like that. What I see here is a person who matches your values at the end, if you're looking for love. But I also feel like sometimes like our values require certain, we have to do certain things to meet those values. It's like if our value is hard work and we want to attract a person that works hard, then maybe we also have to work hard. So it's like we can't be lazy, right? And I kind of get that here with this elephant spirit, where I'm not calling you lazy, Libra, but I feel like there are certain things where we need to like match the energy of what we expect, and not all of us do that sometimes, right? And I feel like this is saying maybe you're putting in the work to do that. You have the Eight of Swords, the Three of Swords, and the Four of Wands. Again, I feel like some of you are maybe stuck to an old idea. I would just be careful of that with the Eight of Swords, Three of Swords, Four of Wands. Maybe you're stuck to the idea that you were going to like marry a person or be with a person. The Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction. Eight of Swords is also a card that says there are like multiple ways to do things. You don't have to do things like only one way. And so I feel that some of you need to realize that, there are multiple ways of doing what you want to do. Next, you have the Three of Swords. I do feel like some of you have gone through a separation. I almost feel this is more of a realization, because I feel like you are realizing that just something cannot live up to your values. It's kind of funny, because it's like with that Ten of Wands, this Ten of Wands that I see over here, it's almost like I see you looking at it as a good thing and a bad thing, right? It's like if something from the past can't live up to your expectations, right? And I don't mean expectations like, I think there are some spiritual teachers out there that say no expectations, right? I'm a big fan of not having expectations, because then you can't be disappointed. But at the same time, we are humans. We do have certain expectations. I think it's a lie. You expect to get into a relationship and you expect the person to act a certain way, and maybe they don't. And again, but we do have expectations, right? But I kind of feel that this is more of a realization that that someone can't live up to your values from the past. Someone can't live up to your expectations. I also feel like a little bit of sadness here is the fact that, if you want someone who is healthy, for example, then you have to be healthy, right? It's like, I got Operation Beachbody going on right now, although it was interrupted by COVID. But, it's like, if I want to attract a person into my life, I know that is healthy. I know that I have to be healthy, which I haven't been for a year now, actually. So it's like I have to get healthy, right? It's like I don't necessarily want to. I'd rather eat pizza every single day, but I understand that if I want to attract someone who is healthy, then I have to do those things, right? And I kind of feel like you're maybe having that realization. The Four of Wands is the sense of freedom, that you're getting from this. Four of Wands is a card of marriage, and you do have the Hierophant here, but really, to me, the Four of Wands is a card of freedom and being set free. And I feel like there is a sense of freedom in knowing that maybe a past person can't live up to your expectations or up to your values. There's also a little bit of freedom in understanding that you also have to match those values. But I also feel like there's like a little bit of freedom in the sense that I feel like you are putting in the work to do that. Even here, your last card is the Fifth House. It says passions on it. So I do feel there's a major focus on you becoming just more passionate about life. We even have the King of Wands here, which I do feel could be a person. And again, it could be any gender, whatever you're attracted to, doesn't matter, Libra. But I do feel like it could be a fire sign. But the King of Wands, he is kind of the visionary entrepreneur of the tarot, right? I almost just said the zodiac, but of the tarot, he imagines something that he desires to do. He's all about desires. He really feels something on a very deep level, and because he feels it, he does it, or he really trusts those feelings. I feel like this is very important right now, mostly because, again, when we have these times of like recession or whatever the flavor of the day that the government's trying to give us to scare us, right? Because that's what they want. They want us separated. They want us all in our little groups fighting each other, ignoring like the real stuff that's going on, which is exactly what they're trying to do, right? And they're also trying to create peak fear. It's very, very hard to focus on King of Wands. It's very hard to focus on like our desires, the things that we desire to do. I also find during these times that our desires, the universe kind of guiding us, right, might be saying, hey, go start that business. And you might be saying, you must be out of your effing mind if you think I'm going to start a business during a recession or, whatever, right? So it's like, sometimes I think our desires conflict with reality, right, in quotation marks. So we kind of have to go against, what we're seeing, and we have to do things like with the thing. Like, I'm surprised there are no cards of resources here, because I feel like the universe with this passion card is really asking you to do what you can with what you got, right? So it's like if you're trying to start a business, maybe you have to start small, but I feel like it's asking you to do that. If you're hoping to find a relationship, it's like, it's a bloodbath out here, right? Dating is crazy in 2022. So it's like maybe you don't believe that it's possible to find a person that you can have a family with, but if you do some research, you actually will be able to do it. In this row, you have the Ten of Wands, the Hierophant, and the King of Wands. The Ten of Wands, I feel, is kind of the burdens, and I also feel it is the, I kind of feel like I said, it's like it's Operation Beachbody for me. I hate going to the gym, right? Who actually really likes going to the gym? I don't know, some people maybe, but it's like, right, I'm going to the gym. I'm like eating more healthy. I just want to eat pizza for my whole entire life. That's what I've wanted to do since I was like 3 years old, right? But it's like, it's got to stop. So, it's like there are certain obligations. Ten of Wands can be burdens, obligations, things that you don't necessarily want to do, but probably lead to a result. I always say, I don't care what anyone says. To me, the Ten of Wands is a good card. He is carrying his harvest that he planted, and he's bringing it to his home. So it is a card of a burden, but it's like a good burden. He planted it. He knows that he needs to do this to have his harvest. So I kind of get that feeling for you, where it's like you could be doing those types of things where it's like maybe you don't really want to do them, but it's kind of like a good thing for you. The one thing that I love about this is the Hierophant. I put this card down, and the second I put this card down, I was getting something about like immediate results. So love it. I also love that you have the King of Wands, which is like motivation. So I feel that, if you are doing things like watching your health, working out, working on your business, doing things that maybe require some extra effort, Ten of Wands, that you don't really have, I feel like this is saying you're going to be seeing results, which is going to be kind of like more motivational. It sucks to like try to lose weight and not see results, right? It's like really hard to stay motivated. Same thing like if you're dating. I feel like you could be meeting some great people, and, it's kind of like motivating. For most of you, I would say as far as love is concerned, you're going to be meeting one person, King of Wands. And I kind of feel, I'm getting the word like untouchable, but I feel like this person almost seems a little bit untouchable. I also feel this person is like a little bit otherworldly, It's like, I don't know if you've ever like met a person who has like those eyes where you're just like, this person's like an alien, It's like, I kind of feel that some of you could be attracting a person like that, where they just seem like they're from another universe, another world. And I don't want to make this sound like, better than it actually is. This person, trust me, they're flawed like everybody else. But, I feel they kind of have like a certain, edge to them. You have the Eight of Pentacles popping out there. I feel like the Eight of Pentacles is saying I love the Eight of Pentacles for love, because to me, it says that the thing that will stand out to you is the fact that this person will put in the work. So love it. But let's see what we have going on here. I definitely feel that it's asking you to do what you can with what you got. If I were to sum up this reading so far in like just a few words, it's saying do what you can with what you got. You'll be happy you did. With the Page of Cups, you have the Six of Swords. Like I said, I feel like you're moving away from these expectations. Six of Swords going to calmer shores. Also, two cards of a rite of passage. This card and the Hierophant. Both cards represent going through a rite of passage and kind of like getting to the other side. Because you're doing that, I feel like you're finding a lot of success. With the moon, you have the Four of Swords card of recovery. Like I said, I feel like you're kind of recovering from this discombobulated feeling on that moon card. A very strange energy on the moon for you, Libra. It's not giving me traditional moon meanings. It's just kind of just giving me this off balance feeling. And so I feel that's how you felt in past situations. But I feel like it mostly boils down to expectations. Like, again, you thought things were going to go one way in love or business or in whatever area of your life, and they just didn't. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Six of Wands, a lot of success and abundance coming in for you. So I feel like you are kind of rising up here. The Six of Wands is a card of excellence, so I feel there is a lot of success coming in for you. Here you go, with the Eight of Swords, you have the Empress, glow up vibes. I'm telling you right now, this is kind of like your little glow up. The reason I wouldn't say this is like a glow up reading is because I feel like it is more you're working towards this glow up. So it's like you don't have it just yet. I feel like this is what you're working towards, is that Empress energy. Empress, she realizes she comes from never-ending source intelligence, never-ending source energy, and so she's able to manifest things very quickly. With the Three of Swords, you have the King of Cups. I feel like you're moving towards someone much more emotionally stable as well. Very interesting. I feel like this is a combination energy, King of Cups, the King of Wands, the type of person you're going to be attracting into your life. I feel like this person weathers your storms is what I feel like saying here, Libra. So I feel like they are very emotionally stable. I feel that, it's like I've talked to people in the past where they're all like, I want a relationship with no arguments. And I'm always like, well, is it actually a good thing? You know what I mean? I would say no, because I think as humans that we look for emotional range in relationships. If we have a relationship that has only one emotion, it doesn't feel real to us, number one. Probably. Number two, again, I think that we look for emotional range in relationships in general. So I would just say that this person's much more able to, if you get into an argument, I feel they're more adult about it. Maybe you still have arguments. I think people need to realize if you're like sharing space with a person, you're going to argue, plain and simple. But I feel like there are healthy ways to argue. You can have a healthy argument where you're not like killing each other, but you're having a deep conversation about disagreements or whatever. I feel like this person is very, very emotionally stable. Meaning if you get into an argument, I feel like they are very stable, like in the way that they argue, if that makes sense. Let's see. No cards wanted to come out there, Libra. With the Four of Wands, you have the Eight of Cups. Again, walking away from this idea of the past. The Four of Wands, I love it and I hate it in your reading, Libra. I feel very strong about it. There you go. How's that for emotional range, right? I feel on one hand that there's this idea that maybe you're walking away from, but it's just an idea. And I feel like maybe you're having that kind of very mature realization about it. Maybe your idea is of what relationship should be and all this other stuff. And that's kind of like going away. But, I feel on the other hand that you're like moving towards how things actually are. Much more kind of reality here. With the the 10 of Wands, you have the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is a card of like falling asleep, having a nightmare, waking up, being stuck in a nightmare. I feel like you're trying to walk away from that type of energy. Again, temporary situation as well going on there. With the Hierophant, you have the Four of Pentacles. Hierophant and Four of Pentacles needing to think outside the box, because Hierophant can be inside the box thinking. Four of Pentacles holding on to inside the box thinking. So I'd just open up to other ways of doing things, right? And with the King of Wands, you have the Tower. I feel like this will be very surprising, number one. So if this is a person, I feel like this is going to kind of be surprising to you in the sense that you didn't think. Again, remember I used the word otherworldly with this person. So I do kind of feel like this is a love reading. If you're not looking for love, again, I feel you could be surprising the people around you with that King of Wands, because you could be doing something that, again, doesn't make much sense during these times. But it's more kind of, again, I feel like there are kind of like two worlds right now that we're living in. I've been talking about this for a long time, that we're like already in the new world, really, I believe. But, at the same time, so it's like we're seeing the old stuff dying. Why do you think there's so much pressure and stuff going around right now? It's because the old ways are dying. So it's like they're trying to fight to stay relevant. And it's like the new way is kind of here. So I feel you could be surprising people with your decisions, but Again, I feel like, if anyone has anything to say, you'll be proven them wrong in the future, so it doesn't really matter. But it's a really good reading, so thank you for being here, Libra. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.